Welcome back everyone to another episode of Mumbles. Now today I'm bringing you guys another game review. And the game that I'm going to be reviewing today is one that I'm really excited about. The game I'm reviewing today is The Thin Silence. Now, before I get into any of that, I do have to apologize if my voice sounds a little crackly or anything like that, or I just sound a little off. I apologize. I do have a cold, so I just wanted you guys to be aware of that. I sound a little different than I usually sound. Hopefully everything will be straightened up next week and we'll be back to normal. But for this week I do have that cold, so just be aware of that. Anyways guys, let's get into this review. So now, The Thin Silence is basically a puzzle story type game. Think of kind of like Limbo. This is kind of a Limbo-ish type game. So you could be ready for a story with puzzle aspects to it. Very cool stuff. Now this game is available on Steam for $9.99, and 10 cents of every purchase goes to aid the charity organization Checkpoint. Now this is an organization that helps bring mental health problems to light. And this game really, story-wise, tries to highlight a lot of mental health problems in a way that, doesn't push anything on anybody, but does highlight them, bring them to light, and say, hey, this is kind of what people can go through. So that is what you can expect from this game. This game has a lot of different aspects to it. We're going to get to that more in the gameplay, but I can say that I do like what the developers did here. And I really like what they're aiming for, and I have to give them a total 100% respect because of how they've gone about doing this. So now let's talk about the actual meat and bones of this thing. Let's start with the graphics. This is a retro type graphical game. I wasn't really impressed with the graphics, I have to be honest. There's nothing that great about them. There's nothing that amazing about them. I'm not going to sit here and talk a bunch about them. They're not really that great, honestly. But they are serviceable and they get the job done. So, not the greatest graphical experience. If you're looking for something that's going to blow your mind graphic-wise, this isn't the game for you. Now, soundtrack-wise, this game is a very quiet game for the most part. Yes, it does have its occasional, moments of different sounds. But for the most part, the soundtrack, there is no soundtrack in this game. It is silence. The Thin Silence. That is the name of the game, and that is what they stuck to on the soundtrack. So don't expect a lot from that. Now, controls. The controls in this game, you can use a gamepad. I didn't. I used the keyboard. Using the keyboard, I can say the controls work very well. There's not a lot to them. Really, it's just move back and forth, jump, and use your items. So not a lot to do there. You just do it and you get it done, and the controls work great. Now, gameplay-wise in this game. The gameplay in this game is really kind of cool. I really did enjoy the gameplay of this game. Basically, how this game works is you move through it, you find items, you can put them together and form different things to do different things. So, for example, when you start out, you'll find a boot. When you find this boot, you will instantly gain the ability to kick things, such as boulders, out of your path. Now, fast forward to a little bit in the game. At some point, you will find a hook. And once you find that hook, you'll be able to use that hook to climb on things. Or climb over things, I should say. Or pull things. So, that's not all there is to this game, though. If you combined your boots and your hook, you get climbing boots. So you can climb up grates, which means you can go to whole new parts of levels and do whole different kinds of things. This is the kind of gameplay that is built into this Thin Silence, and this is really what makes the game here. The actual finding of items, putting them together, and being able to get to new places. And that is a big part of the gameplay. Now, puzzle-wise, the puzzles in this game aren't too hard. They're pretty simple and straightforward. You either know what you're doing or you don't. I did get confused a couple times. I'm not the smartest person. Mama always said I wasn't the smartest person in the world. That was a horrible impersonation of Forrest Gump, but you get my point. I did get lost a couple times and confused, but for the most part, They're very straightforward, easy to do, easy to understand, and they won't frustrate you too bad. Now, enemy-wise in this game, there's really no other enemies per se in this game. It's really just about finding which way to go, finding the items you need to get to that place, and moving on in the story. There's no real bad guys per se for you to fight or anything like that in this game, so don't expect that from this experience. Now let's talk about the cons. I don't want to hate on this game too much because I really do understand what the creator was going for in this game. They were going for a game that really explained a point, and that is when people get depressed, what they have to go through, the kind of things they have to go through. They wanted to create an environment that really hit home on that point. And while I do think they did a great job, I have to say, story-wise, this game could have been a little bit stronger. I'm not hating, just saying it could have been a little bit stronger. So, they could have surrounded the story with more things. They could have done more with the story. They could have made it so that it wasn't so out there. And by out there, I mean, you know, just supported it a little bit better. Giving you a little bit more insight into the character. I felt like I wanted to know more about this character. Like the first cutscene, I was like, what is going on here? And that's never a good sign in a game. But they do make it all work, just I wish it would have been a little bit stronger. Beyond that, really this game, the only other con in this game is that it is shorter, but the price at $9.99 does reflect that, so you could beat this game in about 6 hours, and the price shows that, so I can't really give that as a total 100% con. So really the only con I'm pointing to here is the story. Okay, now let's talk about my actual opinion of this game and my score. This is a great little game. I do like the symbolism that they've used in this game. They've used the environments to great effect to basically tell you the struggle that people go through every day with mental health and things like that. But with that in mind, I do feel like some of the stuff that they shot for might be missed by some people. You know, it's just, some of it's out there. And when you do that kind of thing, you're taking a risk. Sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't. And I feel in this case, while I got a lot of the things, I'm sure there's things that I even missed, symbolisms that I even missed in this game that just didn't work. Now, again, I got to talk about the story before I give you guys my final review. While I do like the story and the ideas surrounding this game, like I said in my criticism, I just wish they'd done more with it. The thing that makes Limbo awesome is that the story that they built up around it, you get this little boy and he's trying to figure out his way through this whole maze. There's things coming out and there's spiders and things like that. And the way that they build up around it is just really cool. It makes you want to play the rest of the game. And there was points during this game where I was like, do I really want to continue this? I'm glad I did, but it's never good when a game has a player question, do I want to continue this? So all this stuff has to affect my review, and that is why I'm giving The Thin Silence a 7 out of 10. Still a great score. I love that they did the mental health aspect of this game, and overall a great all-around game. They did some great things in this game. For $9.99, I definitely recommend you check it out. And yeah, guys, this has been my review of The Thin Silence. Please check it out. It's available on Steam. And yeah, guys, this has been another episode of Mumbles. I want to thank you all so much for joining me. Please smack that subscribe button, smack that like button, and smack all those buttons. Come back tomorrow. I'm going to be doing a review for the Nintendo Switch. I'm really excited about that. 2 great games this week that I was really excited to review. And yeah, guys, this is going to be Mumbles signing off. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.